Welcome to this lecture in the Data Cleaning and Preprocessing module of Pandas. In this lecture, we'll discuss how and why to create custom data frames. While real datasets often suffice, there are scenarios where custom data frames help simulate edge cases or demonstrate specific data manipulation techniques. Already we have gone through all these details in the past. It is kind of a recap of creating custom data frames and also some of the advanced concepts so that you are clear about those. First, let's understand why creating custom data frames is useful. Number one, we should be able to simulate specific scenarios not covered by the actual dataset which are provided to us in the files. The second scenario is nothing but testing edge cases such as handling duplicates or missing values. The third one is to demonstrate advanced filtering, sorting or aggregation techniques. Now, let's identify potential gaps in the Toyota sales dataset. If you go to the actual CSV files, let me pick this one, Toyota sales data.csv. It doesn't have duplicate rows for demonstration. Number two, it lacks categorical values with a defined hierarchy for sorting. Example, priority levels. Number three, some operations such as pivot tables require grouped data not present in the dataset. In these scenarios, we should be able to leverage custom data frames. Keep in mind, advanced techniques such as pivoting tables and all will be covered in subsequent modules, but I just wanted to emphasize where creating custom data frames can help. Some of the scenarios where custom data frames can help is in case if you wanted to explore how to pivot data in the tables. Now let's close this. Let me also close the other notebooks here. Let's create a custom data frame to address these gaps. This data frame will include duplicate rows and a priority column for sorting. I have just copy pasted this piece of code from my notes. Here I am importing pandas as PD. Then I am defining a variable by name custom_data. Here I am assigning a list to it. This is nothing but Python list. Each element in the Python list is of type dict. You can see here. Each element have multiple attributes along with the corresponding values. Now, if you look at this one and this one, these are nothing but duplicates. So I should be able to demonstrate how to handle duplicates using this custom data. We have to create a data frame and then we have to use relevant functions to handle duplicates. This is one of the scenario where creating custom data frames comes handy because our original data doesn't have duplicates like this. But when we actually get into production, there might be scenarios where duplicates might be there. To generate test data and then explore how to handle duplicates, we should be able to use custom data like this, create data frame, and then we should be able to take it forward. Now let me run this. Let me preview the data here. You can see the outcome here. On top of sale ID, sale rep ID, sale date, car model, sale amount, these elements also have a field called as priority. In our actual data, we don't have priority. Like this, you can generate test data depending upon your needs. You can create data frame of it and then you should be able to explore all the functionalities related to Pandas, which might not be covered using your original data. That being said, whatever custom data frame we have created, which is nothing but custom_df, it includes duplicates and a priority column. It is primarily to simulate advanced use cases such as handling duplicates and sorting by categorical values. Now let's recap about handling duplicates. Let's use this data frame to identify and remove duplicate rows based on the sale ID column. For that purpose, we should be able to use logic like this. Deduplicated _df equal to custom_data dot drop _duplicates, then subset equal to, here it is supposed to be custom df, not custom data. Custom data is of type Python list, custom_df is of type data frame. Here I should be able to specify sale ID like this. Now let me run this. Our original data frame have these many records, 5 of them, whereas this deduplicated df only have 4. You can see here one of the duplicate is gone. The drop duplicates method removes duplicate rows retaining only the first occurrence. You can also have additional keyword arguments where you can actually keep the last occurrence and discard the first occurrence. That being said, let's get into the details about sorting by categorical columns. The priority column is a great example of a categorical field. Let's convert it to a categorical type with a specific order, high, which is greater than medium, which is greater than low, and sort by it. Now, if I just sort the data in our custom DF by saying sort underscore values, then by equal to priority, you can see the high is at top, but instead of medium, it have low, then medium. This is not right sorting. We have to perform priority based sorting. For that purpose, first we have to convert priority to a categorical type with a defined order. Then only we should be able to perform priority based sorting. Now let me say priority underscore order equal to pd dot categorical d type. Then we have to specify the categories. The categories are nothing but high, then followed by medium, then low. Now let me run this. We should be able to say custom underscore df priority equal to custom underscore df priority dot as type. It's not category, it's priority type. So we have defined a custom priority based data type. Now this is supposed to be priority order, not priority type. Sorry. Now let me run this. The data frame is created as per the expectations. If we say custom underscore df dot d types, when it comes to priority, it is of type category, but it is not the default category type, it is custom priority order type. To sort the data based on this custom priority order, you have to use the sort underscore values. Let me say custom underscore df sort underscore values, then by equal to priority. Now let me run this. Here you have to specify the column name. The column name in the data frame for priority is nothing but priority. Now if you look at the outcome, first you got the high priority cells followed by medium priority cells, then low priority cells. This is how you should be able to take care of sorting by categorical columns. This is a classic example for priority sorting. Defining a custom order for categorical columns ensures that sorting respects this hierarchy. In case if our data is not enough for other advanced scenarios such as grouping and aggregating, even in those scenarios we should be able to create custom data frames like this. As I haven't covered grouping and aggregating yet, I'm not getting into all the details at this time. We will soon see quite a lot of advanced examples. While going through those advanced examples, many times I'll be creating custom data frames the way I have created for dropping the duplicates and also for priority sorting. For all the lectures in the module, I have explicitly mentioned about practical use case. However, in this lecture, priority sorting itself is a highly practical use case. Keep in mind, this is advanced and very, very important use case. Make sure you are comfortable with advanced concepts such as priority sorting, which is demonstrated here. Now, let's recap of what we covered. We have created a custom data frame with duplicates and categorical fields. That is the first one. Then the second one is we have demonstrated how to handle duplicates using drop underscore duplicates on top of custom data frame. Then the third one is sorting the data by a custom categorical column using pd.categorical d type. That is a classic example for priority sorting. That being said, once again, great job. In this lecture, you learned how to create and use custom data frames to simulate advanced scenarios. In the next lecture, we will summarize the module and transition to the next step in our journey. It is nothing but data transformation. However, make sure before you get into data transformation, whatever concepts that are covered, you are very clear. Only then you will be able to understand the concepts that are going to be covered in the next section under data transformation. You will be seeing grouping the data, you will be seeing performing aggregations. You will also go to the details about merging or joining. All those important concepts are going to be covered in the next module. See you there.